Hello, chums! Is everything okay? I think everything is okay. Welcome back to Octopath. Octopath is just a game I've been loving recently. And I decided to instead do it tonight. So here's what's been going on the past couple days, okay? I put together a new stream setup, and Odin just asked, why did you need a new stream setup anyway, Dev? To be fair, I guess technically I didn't need it. However, there were two things I wanted to accomplish just to make doing the show easier. One is to have all the consoles plugged in at the same time into the stream setup, because whenever we did a stream, we would have to pull everything apart, put in a new console. Dave did not get the flu. Put in a new console, and then run the stream, right? And let me just do a quick count here. NES, PS2, Wii, N64, GameCube, Dreamcast, SNES, Ouya, 360, Wii U, Switch, PS3, PS4. And then not hooked up to the setup yet are the Genesis, the PS1, the second PS4, the second 360, the second Switch, and the original Xbox. So I was like, listen, we have all this shit, and about half of them are HDMI, half of them are not. And I've been slowly getting like mods and adapters and things like that to get all my... Okay, what were we doing, by the way? Oh, that's right. We were doing the various hidden dungeons, weren't we? Yeah, okay. I'll tell the story after I warp to the next hidden dungeon, guys, because we did Whistling Cavern. Did we do Twin Falls? I think we did Twin Falls. We did the Untouched Sanctum. Were we... I think we finished the Carrion Caves. Did we finish Path of Beasts? Guys, do you remember if we finished Path of... Oh, that's right. We did finish Path of Beasts. And we were on this one here, the Hoarfrost Grotto. Yeah, we were on Hoarfrost Grotto. And we couldn't like get through it because it was getting tough. So let's go give Hoarfrost Grotto another try. Let's go. We'll give it another go. Okay, so now that I'm on my way, I'll tell the story. So we have all these consoles, and about half of them are HDMI compatible out of the box because that's just the new format. It's like a prosumer format at this point. And the other ones I've been getting either console mods or adapters to make them HDMI compatible. For example, I have a dongle, which I've been meaning to do a review of it. A dongle for the PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, Dreamcast, and original Xbox, and Super Nintendo, actually, that makes them all HDMI compatible. And they're pretty decent quality dongles, I have to say. I like the quality off of them. Some online reviews say that they create lag, but I haven't noticed it yet. I know that there are some of those solutions that create lag whenever you... I'll turn the game audio. I think it needs to be up a little bit. There are some of those solutions that create lag in the system because it has to convert the signal. And people are like, just don't do that. Just play it on a CRT. And I understand that mentality. Like, I kind of agree with it. But for the stream, and this is an older TV, so it is compatible somewhat in that way. So for the stream, we do want it all hooked up to the same TV, hooked into the same stream. And what makes it easy is just the fact that it all hooks into HDMI. And the quality is better for the most part. So I have all these consoles that I've made HDMI. For the N64, I actually got a direct hardware mod. Like someone opened up the N64 and soldered in an HDMI board into the... Okay, where, by the way... Okay. Someone actually opened up the console itself and soldered in an HDMI board for me. And that has incredible quality. Like, we were playing Paper Mario on the show recently. and it looked fucking amazing compared to the N64, guys. So that's what we were doing there. And the GameCube, because the first generation of GameCubes made had a an AV out. No, hold on. It had like a digital out that was never used because actually, believe it or not, the GameCube was actually supposed to get like its own display at some point. Like it would fold on the top of it. It'd be like a display, and it was supposed to be like a pseudo 3D, similar to like the 3DS, where it head tracks you. But the technology wasn't there to do it back then, right? So they just abandoned the idea. But the first generation of GameCubes had an AV out, meant solely for that screen. And so somebody actually made, it's not an AV out, a digital out, like a proprietary digital out. But that is directly compatible with HDMI if you just get an adapter. So someone made an adapter that just runs the digital out on the first generation GameCubes, which I have one, to HDMI. So that's all plugged into HDMI. I have not yet hooked up the Wii to the HDMI setup. However, the thing with the Wii is I've looked at the yeah, there's some chests in there I didn't get. I looked at the whole I looked up like an HDMI hardware mod on YouTube and compared the quality, and I couldn't really see a difference compared to like Wii component cables and Wii HDMI out. So I'm like, is this really worth it? I don't know. Yeah, these guys were like stupidly hard, weren't they? But they're still weak to swords.
My turn.
Wait, do you have swords? Yes, you do.
Letting my arrow.
Okay, I gotta figure out what this person's weak to. Spears, it seems. The human eye can't see above 480p anyway. I don't know if that's the truth. That might be a bit much. But anyway, so that was one of the reasons, is that I wanted to get everything. I'm still on the whole why did you need a new setup dev conversation. I wanted to get everything on the same system, which meant getting it all on HDMI.
Over here.
Jesus Christ. Okay. We do have a backwards compatible PS3, first of all. That's the one currently hooked into the system. And I don't think there's any reason to soft hack a Wii U because I already have soft hacked a Wii and soft hacked a GameCube. Like, I guess I could, but I don't think there's a reason for it.
My turn.
But anyway, so one of the big things for the setup is making everything on the system and make it very easy to do the stream. So, like, no more unhooking a console, hooking up a new one. It's all just HDMI with a few notable exceptions and plugged into. I blew, I think, like $280 on a 16 input HDMI hub. All right. And this 16 input HDMI hub actually does support 60 frames per second and 4K. And it takes 16 inputs, and then you can just switch, just like buttons on the front, you just pick whichever one you want, and then it just outputs one, and then it outputs into the stream setup where it like splits off into the streaming computer, into my TV, and so basically no more fucking around, a lot less hassle to actually get the stream up and running. Like if we want to stream something, at this point we just have to turn it on. There's no fuss anymore. And that convenience was worth it, you know? Like, believe it or not, when the stream is like pre-rolling, I actually am doing stuff with those 30 minutes, and a lot of it is just like busy work setup, you know? And you don't gotta do that anymore. So that was one big thing. And the second big thing, and in my opinion, this was actually bigger, and it's also the thing that I failed on, unfortunately. But the second big thing is that I wanted to run everything, all the sound for the show through my my sound mixer, which is just off screen right here. Like basically, you know, maybe 2 inches away from this box here, there's the sound mixer. There it is. I'm tapping it. All right. Dev doing stuff. Doubt. Yeah, Sikachi. Well,
What next?
Well, my ultimate plan for the show was to, because there's a monitor up there, like above the camera, that's solely devoted to like a digital sound mixer, right? And it's built in with the stream software, and it has like, you know, like level switches for all the various inputs. And like right now, I can see there's the SD input, which is muted because we're not playing an SD game. There's the HDMI input, which is the game audio. There's the soundboard, which is all of our audios through these microphones that you see us all have. It all comes through one track, or it's two tracks. It's a stereo track, but still, it all comes through one. And then there's like all the various levels for all the various sound effects that happen during the stream. So like whenever we come in and out, it makes sound effects. Like it starts with like I think a turtle, a Mario turtle, and then it ends with a Mario Goomba. And then I think when the stream comes back from a break, it does a 1-up. Like sound effects like those are all controlled from there as well. And what my ultimate goal was to run everything through this physical soundboard here. So that would have meant having to, and I have everything running through this physical soundboard with the exception of the game audio, right? All the various mics, and now also all the guest inputs. Like whenever Pixel comes on, or Nobody comes on, or soon enough it'll be Dynasty Star. I think we're doing his next. But whenever like a guest comes on the show, they go through input port 6. Like 1 through 4 is the 4 mics that we have, and then 6 is for somebody else. I was going to use 5 for the game audio. And the big problem with that is that pulling audio off of HDMI, like taking audio from HDMI and then running it into an XLR cable. Oh, a soul hatchet. That's some decent. Is that some pretty good equipment there? Like, first of all, makeshift axe, probably better than makeshift axe. Does anybody else have a makeshift axe? Enchanted axe. Enchanted axe. Okay, you can use the soul hatchet. There you go. So basically, I was left with a situation where, hey, Mr. JD, I was left with a situation where I had to find some way to pull audio off of HDMI, which is a digital format, and then get it onto this XLR soundboard. Oh yeah, that guy's fucking tough, isn't he? Maybe I'll devote fire to the ice elemental, and then I'll just hack the other ones. Yeah, this guy's fucking brutal. We got to deal with this like right fucking now. Hold on. Oh yeah, you have Thunderbird. Okay, fuck you. How am I gonna do this? Because you don't. Oh, scholar skills. You have fire. Haha, great. Okay. This is a bit tense here. Do you have? No, I don't. Okay.
I will cut you down.
If I can get one, hey Antioch, if I can get one attack off on the ice,
The battle is truly joy.
I don't think I'm gonna. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Okay, fire.
Don't.
Okay, now let's just everyone stop. Sorry, I'll tell the story as soon as I get this guy dead. Oh fuck! I didn't deal anything. I'll tell the story as soon as I get this guy worked out. Okay, because this is. Okay, here, rest up.
Time for a break.
This is a bit. Okay, whatever. Fine. This is a bit tense because the ice elementals are really fucking brutally powerful. More fire.
My turn. I'm ready. Are you?
More fire. Holy shit, dude! The HP on this guy.
Letting my arrow fly and true.
Fine. You're also weak to thunder, so thunder. There you go, dead. Okay. Everybody else in this fight's a joke. Okay, so we're fine. So basically, I wanted to run all the sound through the physical soundboard, but that requires, hey Slaughter Otter, that requires pulling audio off of the HDMI signal for the show. HDMI is a digital format, and the soundboard uses I think just only analog formats. Because there's XLR there. There's just the usual left-right inputs. There's 3.5 millimeter and 6.25 millimeter inputs. So basically, it only uses analog inputs, and you got to pull a digital audio from an HDMI somehow get into this. So I tried a few various. There are like little boxes, right? You can get that takes in an HDMI signal, outputs the HDMI signal through another HDMI, but also clones a copy of the sound, converts it to analog, and then outputs it through an optical cable, or outputs it through a a left-right signal. I couldn't find one that does XLR directly, but there's a bunch of little boxes that do this sort of thing. What happens here? Oh, there's a bunch of little boxes that do that sort of. Oh, fuck you! Another one of these elementals.
Out of my way.
Let's just hit him with more fire. There's a bunch of little boxes you can buy on Amazon that will pull a signal off of an HDMI input and then turn it into an analog signal. And honestly, I noticed that you can get little boxes to convert any kind of signal to any kind of signal on Amazon. It just seems to be a normal thing. Like you want to convert digital to analog, analog to digital, you'll find it on Amazon. You want to convert Ice Elemental to 2742 HP. Okay, thank you, Torva. I don't want to get stomped here again. Let's see. I think I can just start beating on him. Get him out of here. I'll talk about mesh in a minute. Basically, the second problem that I was facing was trying to get the signal into here, and I tried 3 or 4 different little boxes or adapters, and in the end, none of them worked. None of them worked with anything that I had, and I just kept getting refunds on Amazon. I mailed it back, got a refund, but it got to a point where I was just like, fuck it. Just fuck it, man. How come they're all different makes and models and different things, but they're all supposed to do the same thing, and none of them work. And I'm just like, well, what the hell? What's the point here?
Victory shall be mine.
Let's hit him with more level slash. Done. Thunderbird. So basically, the thing that I really wanted to do, which was to kind of centralize all the sound places I got to look at instead of looking up there and looking over here, I couldn't do that, it turns out. There's probably a way. If I keep looking, I'm sure I'll find a way. But I realized that it might be cost prohibitive to do it. If I start looking at really expensive equipment to seriously get the job done, it might just not be worth it. The quality I think is good enough. You guys don't hear any kind of problems with. Yeah, exactly. Shit like that, Slaughter Otter. It just sometimes seems to defy all reason, trying to convert signals from digital to analog. At some point you just gotta not do it, frankly. I'm looking for items. Items, inventory. Yeah, whatever, I'll just use them all. Yeah, thank you, Sekuchi, thank you. I appreciate. The audio's always great, that's awesome. I mean, I put in a lot of work into it, so I hope it's always great, or at least always good,
Step right up.
Much easier fight with just these guys.
Out of my way.
Hey there, Dragon Fat. Your red flash shirt has never been in higher definition. Oh, thank you. I do appreciate it.
What next?
Oh, wait. Do you have a spear? No, you don't. Does a bow work on you? No, it does not.
Let's do this.
You have a spear, though. The audio improves when Dave is around. Okay, so to get back to the original conversation of why, like, where the fuck have I been? When we started doing all these various updates and upgrades and putting in the new splitter and like kind of doing everything, I posted pictures to the Discord, so you guys, some of you guys probably saw it. But I basically like moved everything out of the studio, and we cleaned the studio, and then we put everything back together from scratch. Because like, in my opinion, if you have like a mess of wires and cords, and you're kind of like shuffling things in piecemeal, things are bound to go wrong. If you're doing a major change to your setup, like whether it be your computer setup or it's like your audio-visual setup, your TV setup, or like anything, really anything in life, in my opinion. If you're doing anything, you're probably best at just like kind of breaking it all down and rebuilding from scratch, in my opinion. It makes things more organized. You can like do a good cable run or whatever you have to do. So we did that. We pulled everything out. We cleaned out all the dust bunnies, and you know, I punched a hole through the wall to run some shorter cables, because we realized that one of the biggest problems we were having was the fact that the computers are so far away from the setup that the 25-foot USB cords running to the soundboard were basically fucking with everything. So what we decided to do is I would punch a hole in the wall, and we would run like a 10-foot one. And just make it a lot easier on ourselves. Yeah, what do we do know where everything goes? But also, what's good about the splitter that I got is that it auto selects. Or sorry, the hub that I got is that it auto selects. So as long as only one of the various 16 inputs is on at any time, we can just auto select it. It'll just do it itself. We don't even have to look at it, which is very handy.
The battle is truly
letting the hunt begin.
Wing Baron, we're gonna patch it up when we leave. Like, I'm not just gonna fucking leave. Like, I don't know if it's the same in the States, but in Canada, you know, the landlords can't just come into your place and fucking inspect it. Like, when we move out, we'll fix it.
Let's do this.
But basically, on the Discord, I posted before and after pictures of the whole process of rebuilding the setup from the ground up after pulling everything out and cleaning it. So if you want to go see those are kind of interesting, but suffice it to say, it took us way longer than I thought. Like, we started at between 1 and 2 yesterday, and then like Dave bowed out around 8 o'clock that night, and he just like went to go do something else. And then I kept going. I went to bed at 1 a.m., and then I got up this morning and finished it. So like I thought it might take us maybe 4 hours or something, because the last time we did this, it took me about 4 hours to do. But this time it took us like a full fucking day. So that's why there was no stream last night. And the big plan was that last night we would do No More Heroes, the new No More Heroes game, No More Heroes 3, on release day, because it came out last night. And I picked it up. It's on the Switch. But we got to the point where we realized we just weren't getting this stuff done in time. So I was like, okay. Here's what we'll do. We'll just do it like tonight, right? We'll do it the next day. And then Dave comes home after like an 8-hour shift, and he basically said he's too tired to do the show. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. And he has a voice acting workshop tomorrow. So he's just going to spend tonight practicing for that anyway. And then we'll just do No More Heroes tomorrow night. And so that is the whole thing about where I've been. But then, like, yeah, he does do he voice acts, yeah. Well, he wants to get into it, so there's a local thing is going on where they teach people, so he wants to do it. He wants to get into it, so he's going to go to the workshop and give it a go. Maybe try and get his foot in the door.
What to do?
That's right. You have a decent bow, don't you? No, you don't.
Coming.
Are you guys all surprised that he voice acts for some reason?
I will not be thy prey.
Victory shall be mine.
Is he gonna voice act in anime? Maybe. I mean, who knows, right?
Let's do this.
Dave's gonna do voice acting for porn. I don't know about that. Do we have a spear? No, just a bow. It'll still do. It'll still do.
Letting my arrow fly.
The unions for voice actor work are absolutely insane. Well, sure. I mean, you have to get such important things as her. Yeah, it's got to be protected.
Victory shall be mine. Out of my way.
Out of my way.
Here I go.
You want your local heroes to do dubs of hentai? Come on, guys. Anyway. To act in anime, you have to move to LA or Texas. I think New York has some studios that do it too, but yeah, you're pretty much right. Oh, and also all Canadian productions for anime are in Vancouver. That's another thing too. Like if you want to be a Canadian voice actor, you're going to Vancouver basically.
What to do?
Or for anime, yeah, of course, for anime.
Victory.
If you do a union job and you're not union, SAG-AFTRA automatically registers you. Is that good or bad? I'm not sure.
How about you?
What next? My turn now.
Anyway, that's the story of where I've been. What have you guys been doing? What's going on with you?
Now
Did you fucking die already?
Out of my way.
Coming, if thou darest.
Nope. Shit.
My turn now.
Maybe nope. I'm trying to find that last one.
In the hunt.
I'm making tendies. No, I'm good. That's an axe. Okay, it's an axe. No, I've had my fill of tendies. Thank you very much.
how about you? Out of my way.
This guy just takes tons of hits, dude. Look at him.
My turn.
There he goes. Jesus
Where's
Christ.
the nearest tavern?
Very good. We got Theory on his 30. We gotta trade him out next time we go back. Papa Hurl's getting drunk with Hollow Knight. Yep. Guys, you can't hear it, but Dave's currently singing. He's currently singing it, and it's echoing through the house. My sound setup is good enough to spare you, but it's not good enough to spare me. Let's see if I can get that final chest before we get out of here.
Come on, I've got better.
Oh god, this is like the full... Okay, this is gonna be a tough fight because... Oh, no, hold on, I can still do something, I think.
Out of my way.
Slip a mic into his room. I don't know about that, dude. Okay, we have to wildfire this fucking guy down, like, immediately, or else we're going to die. Look at, she's already fucking dying.
Slow.
Letting my arrow fly.
Okay, here's what we need to do. Dude, she might die. I have no real way to seriously heal her. I can't stun that guy in time. Hopefully you won't use an attack everyone attack. Please. Don't do it. There, she used an attack everyone attack. Okay, well the plan now. Wildfire and basically use Ulbrich as our makeshift healer since he's half apothecary.
Battle is truly joy.
So I have Vivify.
Rise again and again.
Do you have any healing dances? No, you don't have shit, do you? I'll just keep using Thunderbird.
Lightning, done my bidding.
That's not so bad. I don't care about that.
The battle is truly joy.
Titanium Dragoon finished all chapter 3s in Octopath. The game power scales like a motherfucker. The 4th chapters and 4th secret class dungeons are no joke. Really? Is it real tough? Titanium Dragoon Neo? Oh, let's see what I can do here. I have a healing. Don't I have a first aid? Who do I want a first aid? You.
You shall be healed.
Because you're going to be the one who's going to do Fireball. Just die. Just fucking die, you ice bitch. Just die. Just die. Thank you. Dude, don't ever look up TikTok. Actually, it's probably okay to look up TikTok, frankly. You have a spear, you have an axe, you have nothing that you're weak against. Okay. Well, fire still works. Actually, no, I probably shouldn't. I should probably not. Actually, you have a bow, that's right.
Victory shall be mine. You shall be healed.
Let's do this.
And you have a pretty good bow too, I think. So here we go. Boom, boom, boom. Done, done, done. So, just out of curiosity, how many of you guys were here for our playthrough of The Walking Dead recently?
And that's that.
Because we did The Walking Dead season 3. Sorry, season 4, episode 3, a couple days ago. And I gotta say, it was a fucking shit show. You were around, Odin? How do you get... Oh, there's like a hidden road. Okay. You watched 10 minutes where you cringe yourself to death. I don't blame you. I cringe myself to death too. I was Mr. Devon. I'm a Mister. Yeah, it kind of sucked, didn't it? But you know what? It was funny. I enjoyed making fun of it. Well, you know what?
My turn.
On Thursday, Life is Strange 2, Episode 2 comes out. However, we'll probably be doing it like next month. We'll probably take a break for that one. We'll probably do it like next Monday. Like the Monday after, so in like a week and a half approximately. A little bit less.
I will cut you down.
What next?
Yeah, Huggy Snuggle, that's what we do, man. That's definitely our thing.
Lightning, done my bidding.
We did beat Deadly Premonition, not confused.
Here I go.
Yeah, it was minus 32 today. It's pretty minus 32 degrees Celsius. It's pretty cold. We are definitely getting better at handling these ice elementals, I gotta say, guys.
The battle is truly joy.
Yeah, we beat
What next?
Deadly Premonition. Dave and Naomi beat Bayonetta. We got the most recent episode of Life is Strange coming up, and the most recent episode of The Walking Dead under our belts. But good God, they were just like, I don't know, like, what is it with just shitty games recently? Every big game coming out has just been shit. Unless it's been like a remake of a good game, it's just been shit, man.
Done my bidding.
Yeah, minus 32 degrees Celsius. Oh, fuck, dude. Okay, we gotta get this guy down like right fucking now.
Fire.
Holy shit, we're about to get destroyed. Okay, we got him. Jesus.
And that's that.
Yeah, just a bunch of shitty games recently, man. And like, I don't know, like what happened? God damn it. The future is supposed to be so bright. Let me just save this here. Yeah, in my opinion, shitty games have been the norm since 2016. I think I truly honestly think that like there was a modern golden age of gaming, okay? And the modern golden age of gaming like started around 2009 and it ended around 2016. And games just have not been the fucking same since then. Okay.
Don't play.
Coming. Yeah. Lightning. Done my bidding.
No thanks.
Like there was obviously the golden age of games during like the Super Nintendo era, but really in my opinion, the modern golden age probably started when the Wii was first really getting its stride. That was a dumb. Why did I do that? That was a dumb move. We're gonna die in here.
Out of my way.
Well, no. There's like two golden ages confused. Like, very clearly, like the early to mid '90s was definitely a golden age of gaming. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Fine.
The battle is truly joy.
Yeah, like very clearly, like the SNES, N64, PS1 era was definitely an era of golden age gaming. But then, like the modern golden age was like the Wii was picking up, and like there's a bunch of good games that came out for the Wii. The 360 and the PS3 were both amazing consoles as well, and that trend started to carry over into the PS4. But then, like somehow the industry just lost steam. It lost steam a couple of years ago, you know?
What next? Lightning. Done my bidding.
Like a couple of years ago, there was a situation where like people, like 2015. Here, consider this: 2015, the Final Fantasy VII remake was announced. Shenmue 3 was announced. People were just happy about games. You know, Hollow Knight looked great. A whole bunch of indies were coming out that looked amazing. You know, Walking Dead had not yet become a fucking shambles. Good God.
Lightning. Done my bidding.
The battle is truly joy.
Vivify.
Rise again and again.
I think we're gonna die. Because you don't have enough. Nope. I guess I'll just...
Here.
Hopefully we survive this. Okay. We survived it. Jesus
Victory
Christ.
shall be mine.
Here I go.
Basically, we were in a situation where indies looked good, AAAs looked good, the consoles, all of them, for all companies, were going strong. And it just seemed to be great, like... And then suddenly everything fell apart. And here we are. In the ruins of like a decent era. Yeah, like okay, we already got this. I do think that like I do think that like one, loot boxes helped killed it. Two, companies just like baselessly jumping on a fucking bandwagon killed it. Like they did it with, like when Hearthstone got popular, they did it with Hearthstone. When Battle Royales got popular, they did it with Battle Royales. Like people, like the past few years have just been constant, unending bandwagoning. And there is, of course, the social justice part of the conversation, but still, like the bandwagoning, social justice or not, has been extreme.
Let's do this. Fire.
Have at you. Too slow.
Yeah, exactly, Dragon Fat.
Slow.
Exactly.
Too slow. Too slow. No.
Yeah, like I personally have no problem with loot boxes on a free-to-play game, but like, come on, guys, like stop just shoving it into everything. I actually saw a I might have talked about this in a previous episode. I saw a, I mean, you rest. I saw
Time for a break.
it was like a game design conference or something, or like a seminar. Like someone was giving a talk on it, and basically they said that loot boxes will likely go the way of the dinosaur soon. However, they will be replaced with
Too slow.
a whole
Too slow.
pop-ups will appear in games when you start losing that will allow you to pay to lower the difficulty of a game. That's going to be the next big thing. It seems like just consider it like this. Consider it like this. You play a level a few times, you can't get through it. A pop-up appears and says, "Hey, for 99 cents, you can be invincible for this level. Do you want to pay for that?" Like, how many people do you think will do that?
Too slow.
Let's use your sword. You have a better sword. That's a knife, not a sword. Ah, god damn it. Yeah, microtransactions, but microtransactions for like, you know how in recent Mario or Nintendo platformers, you'd get like the easy mode power up if you lost at a level too much, like the golden banana in Donkey Kong or the golden Tanuki suit in Mario 3D World. They're gonna start doing that, and they're gonna start charging for it.
Have at you.
Well, the problem is, Dragon Fat, is that here in Canada,
Too slow.
games are $80, not $60. And the big problem with that is that everything else is around the same price. Like they're like in terms of, not even in terms of exchange rate. Like when you buy something in the States for $20, you can usually buy it in Canada for 20 Canadian. Like there's an equivalency there in a lot of ways. However, for video games and a lot of other tech things, that's just not the case. The American price is paid here and converted. So a lot of tech stuff here is just really unaffordable. And so when people buy games, like they, even more so in Canada, there's like an expectancy of quality. You have a bow, right? Okay, start killing some of these fucking bats.
Have at you. Too slow.
Books, yeah, books can cost more in Canada too. They're one of the other things, but a lot of things don't. Like food is somewhat similar, you know. Eating at restaurants is somewhat similar.
No. Too slow.
But anyway, that's the whole tale, I guess. Hey, Meldrin, what's up, dude?
The hunt endeth.
Yeah, Dave went back to his room. We finished this dungeon, so let's get the fuck out before we fucking die. Jesus Christ, this place is brutal. You have to commit to filling out jobs and getting them when you can. Most game comes from equipment. Yeah, I mentioned that earlier in a previous session. Once you beat each chapter, I recommend going to every city to steal equipment. Let me see. I want to read this here. Yeah. Once you beat second chapter, go to every city and buy and steal equipment and items. Yeah, dude, absolutely. That's what I've been doing. It's extremely hard to cheese later fights that doing speedrun type tactics if you lack levels equipment. Yeah, Dragonfat, I don't see the industry is gonna the gaming industry is not gonna crash, but there will be a significant shift. I do think a bunch of big name, it's already happening. Like, Confused is right, it's already happening. A bunch of big name companies are just gonna start vanishing. Like, I don't think you're gonna see like the big names of. Okay, where are we going? Let's go to. I want to do the Whisperwood next, or the Whistlewood rather. Yeah, EA and Activision are falling apart. BioWare's dead. A whole bunch of the. Let's rest up. It's not going to undergo a crash in the same way that. Oh, okay, just loading. Okay, no, gaming's not going to undergo a crash in the same way that it did, like during the Atari era, of course. But I think a lot of AAA development's going to start floundering and sinking, like absolutely.
Standest thou against me? Then be hunted. Come in, if thou darest.
Axes. Yeah, they're absolutely going to start falling apart. You know, BioWare's already gone, pretty much. A bunch of old series are dead. You know, there's a bunch of like, we can just stomp these guys. Like, who fucking cares? We'll just A through it. Like a lot of the greats from the '90s are either dead or going to be dead, because like you look at Square Enix, it's a shadow of its former self. You look at Capcom, Konami, shadows of their former selves. I think it's just going to keep happening like that, you know? I don't think there's going to be an industry-wide decline, but I think what's going to happen is like a lot of casual, free-to-play, you know, games that attract whales will be split off into their own separate industry. And I think that a lot of games that try to clothe themselves in like games for hardcore gamers, no other way to say it, but then like try to include that whale shit, like, you know, Battlefront 2 is a great example. Those games will just fucking die, and they'll keep dying, and like the companies will keep losing money on them until they stop. I think this is the way to the Whistlewood. Yeah, companies will just keep losing money on those until they just stop, and they give that up, and they move on to something else. And then I think indies and AAA developers that don't do that shit. Nintendo's a good example, by the way. For all their faults, they don't do that shit. They'll basically fill the gap, you know? Yep. Social justice will eventually get out of gaming. Because their companies just keep... It's like you said, their companies will keep failing. Like, their projects, they'll push their social justice shit, but you can only tank a series, tank game so many times. Like, do you think Battlefield 6 is going to be a social justice bore fest the way that Battlefield 5 was? Or, like how many Battlefield 5s does that company need before they smarten up and make a good game again? Like, I wonder how many. It might be more than one. Maybe it'll be 3. Maybe we'll just see some shitty Battlefield games for the next 5 years, and then they eventually... But, like, either they will go bankrupt or they'll stop doing it. Like, one of the two.
hunt endeth.
We are in the Whistlewood pretty much, so I'm going to take a break here. I'll go to the washroom. Come back in a minute. BRB, guys.